Alright, so let's talk about snow plowing. From an old TV show that I used to love, the Red Green Show, he always used to say, if the women don't find you handsome, they can at least find you handy. So let's talk about being handy. So we got about 9 miles of road here on the ranch. And when a plow maybe takes about 4, 6, 8 hours, depending on what all's going on, in and out of driveways and everything else. The way I figured it was this cutting edge here, which I've got a brand new one right here, and the wings, I put the new wings on already, for a pair of them on either side of me here. They run about $75. So we're looking at about $250 to $300, somewhere in there, bolts and whatnot, and every time we plow. So that gets a little expensive. So a friend of mine, about 9-10 years ago, showed me what he did. And he goes down to the county and he gets the county blades, the leftover blades that come off their county snowplows, and that's 3/4 inch of steel in their carbide, and well, they bolt 2 of them together, and it's just a little bit too heavy for these. Even though this thing says heavy duty, it's still a little bit too heavy to bolt 2 3/4 inch pieces of steel all the way across this. So what I did was I took these old blades, and I welded one onto the bottom that's been worn out pretty good. It's only about 5 inches tall, or wide, I suppose. And now what happens? Let me set this down here on the ground so you can see. I've got, instead of just 1/2 inch of steel contacting the ground, now I got about 5 inches of steel contacting the ground. Well, not exactly, because if you put it exactly flat, well, you're still going to have the same problems. You're going to be tearing up your roads. You're going to be pushing gravel, rolling all that gravel into the ditch, and then come spring, you got all this work to do to get all the gravel out of the ditch, back up on the road. Plus, I've got about 3 miles worth of chip seal, dragging steel and chip seal with just that blade straight down. Whew, you don't want to roll that stuff up. It gets real expensive to fix. So, put this blade down flat. Now this leading edge here, you can see I can stick my fingers right underneath it, and it's canted up a little bit. So it will glide over the top of your pavement, and it'll glide over the top of your gravel roads without peeling up all that gravel and shoving it off into the ditch. But the biggest bonus is that 1/2 inch steel that's 6 inches, it ain't wearing down anymore, because all you're wearing is this big piece of steel that I got from the county across, and it ought to last all winter long. So instead of spending $3,000 on steel, when I go to plow, all I got is wear and tear on my vehicles and diesel, to push everything. The other thing I did was, when you weld this on, you can't just weld a bead all the way across. What happens is the contraction and expansion of the metal as you heat it, and then you're out in the ice and cold and misery. It cracks all your welds, because I don't really know how to explain it, but I just know that sciencey makes it not work if you solid weld the whole damn thing, because it just breaks. And you can't do it off the machine because you never get it bolted back on again because it twists and changes. So this is the solution that I've come up with. So we get this whole thing welded on, and then I'll bring it down here so you can see it. Then what we do is we take our mower blades there, and we cut them up, and we weld them all along as braces. right? So we don't really want to do that on the backside because there's not a whole hell of a lot of room back there. And you probably couldn't it'd be better, but I'm kind of lazy and I don't like banging my head and welding while I'm laying on the ground and burning the hell out of myself. So this is what I did. So you can see I can stick my finger right underneath that blade is solid down on the ground in the back. Let me show you that. That blade right there is sitting nice and flat on the ground. So when I roll over rocks and whatever, they just get shoved down into the ground a little bit deeper. And then when that whole thing comes to the point to where that front edge is contacting the ground because you've worn off enough of the back of that blade, well, then if you got little kids like I do, I got a 6-year-old and an 8-year-old. Oh, hell. I got a 6-year-old and an 8-year-old. Well, they like making sparks and burning stuff, so I just bring them down here and raise everything up in the air. Yes, I use jack stand so it don't fall on them. Don't get after me. But I just set them to work with the grinders. It's a lot of fun to see those little kids just playing. So, long story short, yeah, it took a day in the shop. And, you know, it kind of sucked. You know, you're cutting up mower blades and getting everything and making the angles work right. But at the end of the day, I might get lucky and save almost $3,000 by the end of the snowplowing season. And I didn't create myself a whole hell of a lot of work by having to go and patch up the chip seal that I messed up while I was plowing roads, and I don't have to go back on all my gravel roads with a grader and pull all the damn gravel out of the roads, back up on the roads, and grade the roads and put a new crown back in it. We'll see. It is untested for the most part. I did it on my tractor, and my tractor snowplow works pretty good. I was pretty hard on it just to see if I could break it, and it stood up to the test pretty well. I did go a little bit beefier and stronger on the truck just because I was scared to death that one of these blades would come off and go underneath the truck and end up, you know, poking a hole in the transmission or oil pan or something else like that. So I probably went a little overboard, but well, I'd rather not make another video of, hey, I'm a dumbass, let me show you what I did. There's going to be plenty of them. So good luck to you. Hope this helps. We'll see. I'll get back to you in the spring, and we'll show you the wear and tear and how it held up. Or you never know, you might get I'm a dumbass video of me broken down with a damn grater blade up in the oil pan of my truck and going, let me show you how to fix this. You guys have a good day. Good luck.